Dear students, let us discuss the part from last lecture. We are now discussing neutral differential difference equations. Means we can have delay in the derivative term also. Okay, so this is general form of equation x dot of t minus c times x dot of t minus r equal to a times x of t plus b times x of t minus r plus f of t. Okay, so if this c is 0, then this is retarded DDE, which we studied in last section. Okay, so here we assume that this c is non-zero. We have seen existence uniqueness results for this equation. So in the first result, there were some points which were excluded. These are KR, where K is 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, etc. Okay. And then we provided another theorem where such restriction is removed. This is theorem 2. It is also existence uniqueness theorem. If phi is continuous function on closed interval minus r 0, then there exists a unique solution of the equation d by dt of x of t minus c x of t minus r equal to a x of t plus b x of t minus r plus f of t. Okay, so what we are doing, we are calling this x of t minus c x of t minus r as y of t, for example, and then we are taking its derivative. And the solution exists on minus r infinity. If c is non-zero, then this solution exists on r and is unique. Okay, let us continue our discussion. Next result, it is analogous. Let x of phi f be the solution of equation that is delay differential equation d by dt of x of t minus c times x of t minus r equal to ax of t plus bx of t minus r plus f of t. Okay, this is equation number 4 in previous result, so we call it as 4. Then there exist positive constants a and b such that mod of x of phi f of t is less equal a e raised to bt into norm phi plus integral from 0 to t mod of f of s ds. Okay, so this result, we will find this result very similar to the corresponding result in previous section. Okay, we omit the proof of this theorem. Of course, here norm means supremum, where norm f is supremum of mod of phi of theta, where theta belongs to closed interval minus r 0. Now we move to homogeneous equations, and we find characteristic equation, discuss the stability. Okay. Characteristic equation and stability analysis of homogeneous equation. Consider the homogeneous Dirichlet differential equation d by dt of x of t minus x of t minus r equal to a x of t plus b x of t minus r. Okay, we take f to be 0 and call this as homogeneous. We call this as phi. If this equation, okay, now what will be characteristic equation? As earlier, we substitute x of t equal to e raised to lambda t in this equation and obtain characteristic equation. If this equation has a solution of the form e raised to lambda t, then lambda must satisfy following characteristic equation. Okay, it is homework. You are asked to verify. So characteristic equation in this case is lambda minus c e raised to minus lambda r there is also lambda c into lambda e raised to minus lambda r, okay, because there is derivative. Okay, so we take lambda common. So lambda into 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. We call this as 6 and we call the left hand side as h of lambda. Okay, we define the left hand side to be h of lambda. Now we take capital H. Okay, in retarded case we have taken small h, now we take capital H. Capital H of lambda to be lambda into 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r. Okay. Now we discuss important result about stability. So lemma 1. First thing, there is a real number alpha such that all solutions of characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0 satisfy real part of lambda less than alpha, means all the characteristic roots have bounded real part, real part of all the characteristic roots is bounded above. Okay, so this is same as the retarded case. So we can say that there are at most finitely many roots with positive real part. Okay, as in previous case. Second thing, if c not equal to 0, then all solutions of this characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0 lie in a vertical strip say beta less than real part of lambda less than alpha, okay, in the complex plane. That means if c is not equal to 0, then real part is bounded below also. Okay, so this region beta less than real part of lambda less than alpha, it will be a vertical strip, okay, in the complex plane. So all the roots lie in this vertical strip. Third, again we assume that c is non-zero. If c is non-zero and there is a sequence lambda j of solutions of characteristic equation such that mod lambda j tends to infinity as j tends to infinity, then there exists a sequence lambda j dash of zeros of 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. We call this as 8, such that the sequence of difference lambda j minus lambda j dash tends to 0 as j tends to infinity. Okay, so again we assume c non-zero, and if there is sequence of solutions, that means sequence of characteristic roots such that mod of lambda j is tending to infinity. That means these roots are tending, this sequence is such that mod of lambda j is tending to infinity, means these are going away from origin. Okay, so lambda j, this sequence is tending away from origin, so that mod is tending to infinity. Okay, in this case we can consider the equation 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. Okay, and there is sequence of zeros of this equation also. Okay, we call it as lambda z dash, and this sequence is such that if we consider difference lambda j minus lambda z dash, then this difference is tending to 0. Means we can say that roots of this equation 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r form a sequence which is tending to the roots of characteristic equation. Okay, means lambda z dash is tending to lambda j. Okay, so qualitative behavior of these two equations means h of lambda equal to 0 and this thing 1 minus c e raised to lambda r equal to 0 will be similar in that case. Okay, let us prove this result. Proof. For lambda non-zero, the characteristic equation can be written as okay. So what was our characteristic equation? It was lambda into 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. Okay, so we rewrite this by dividing by lambda. So we divide by lambda and multiply by e raised to lambda r. Okay, and rearrange the terms so that it becomes e raised to lambda r into 1 minus a by lambda minus c minus d by lambda equal to 0, isn't it? Okay, so what we are doing, we are dividing by lambda, so it is a by lambda. Okay, we are also multiplying by e raised to lambda r, so this becomes, okay, actually 1 e raised to lambda r will be there, and we are dividing by lambda, so 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r, and this is minus a by lambda e raised to lambda r minus b by lambda, and it becomes e raised to lambda r minus a by lambda e raised to lambda r, and this becomes minus c simply minus b by lambda. Okay, so we are getting this equation. We can write this as e raised to lambda r into 1 minus a by lambda equal to c plus b by lambda. Okay, now we can take modulus of this thing, taking mod v, that is absolute value, we get what is mod of e raised to lambda r? It is e raised to real part of lambda into r. Okay, r is positive real number, lambda may be complex number. So absolute value of e raised to lambda r is e raised to real part of lambda into r into absolute value of 1 minus a by lambda equal to absolute value of c plus b by lambda. Okay, we call this as 9. Now we start the proof of first thing. Now first result is there is a real number alpha such that all solutions of characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0 satisfy real part of lambda is less than alpha. Means if we consider roots of characteristic equation, then real part cannot be unbounded. Okay, there is some alpha such that real part of lambda is less than alpha. Okay, so we prove by contradiction. We assume that we can increase the real part and tend to infinity. So what happens? Okay, so contrary, assume that we can tend real part of lambda to infinity. Okay, so what will happen? If we keep on increasing real part of lambda, then what happens to left hand side of 9? This e raised to real part of lambda into r, this will tend to infinity. Okay, and here a upon lambda, this goes to 0, so left hand side will tends to infinity. That means left hand side is unbounded. Then left hand side of 9 will be unbounded. What happens to right hand side as we keep on increasing real part of lambda? This term b by lambda will tends to 0, and this c is free from lambda, so right hand side will approach to mod c. Okay, so left hand side is unbounded and right hand side is approaching to mod c. This is contradiction. Okay, because mod c cannot be infinity. Okay, whereas the right hand side tends to mod c. This is contradiction. Okay, so this contradiction is because of wrong assumption. Okay, so our assumption is wrong, means real part cannot be unbounded. Okay, therefore there exists alpha positive such that real part of lambda is less than alpha for all roots lambda of characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0. Okay, so this proves first part. Now let us see second part. We prove second part again by contradiction. In the second part, we need to assume C non-zero. Okay. So second part says that the real part of lambda is bounded below also. There is some beta. Okay. So what we do? We contrary assume that we can tend real part to minus infinity. Means it is not bounded below. Okay. And then we get contradiction in the similar manner. So first we assume that C non-zero. Suppose that C is not equal to 0. Contrary, assume that real part of lambda tends to minus infinity. Okay, if we take different roots of characteristic equation, different roots lambda, then real part of such roots tend to minus. Therefore, what happens to left hand side of 9? This real part is tending to minus infinity, so this becomes 0. Okay, and this a by lambda is also tending to 0, so left hand side is tending to 0. What about right hand side? B by lambda is also tending to 0 because real part of lambda is tending to minus infinity. So this tends to mod C. Okay, so left hand side is 0, right hand side is mod C, but C is non-zero. This is contradiction. Left hand side of 9 tends to 0, whereas right hand side of 9 tends to mod C. Okay, contradiction, because C is non-zero. Okay, therefore our assumption is wrong, and there exists beta finite number. It may be negative. Okay, such that all the roots lambda of characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0 satisfy beta less than real part of lambda. Okay, in the first part we already have proved this is less than alpha. Okay, so we can have this thing. Okay, that means all the solutions of h of lambda equal to 0 lie in the vertical strip beta less than real part of lambda less than alpha. Okay, so this proves second part. Now third part. This is quite different. So we have to rewrite the characteristic equation. Rewrite the characteristic equation as e raised to lambda r minus c equal to 1 upon lambda into a plus b. We call this as 10. Okay, let us see how we can write this. So our characteristic equation is lambda into 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r minus a minus b e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. Okay, so we multiply by e raised to lambda r and divide by lambda. Okay, so this becomes e raised to lambda r minus c. Okay, we are multiplying by e raised to lambda r and dividing by lambda minus a by lambda e raised to lambda r minus b by lambda. Okay, fine. Yeah, there should be a e raised to lambda r plus b. Okay, there should be e raised to lambda r. Let me write this as e raised to lambda r minus c equal to 1 upon lambda a e raised to lambda r plus b. Okay, so this is a rearranged characteristic equation. Now what is assumption? Assumption is that there is a sequence of characteristic roots lambda z. Okay, lambda z is sequence of characteristic roots, means for each lambda z this equation is satisfied, and such that condition is given that mod lambda j is tending to infinity. Okay. So such that mod lambda j is tending to infinity. Now, though mod lambda j is tending to infinity, for all the characteristic roots, real part is bounded. Okay. So mod is tending to infinity means imaginary part will be increasing. Anyway, imaginary part is not playing a role in the stability. Okay. So e raised to lambda r is bounded thing. Okay, so what is mod of e raised to lambda r? In this case, it is e raised to real part of lambda into r. Okay, so this is bounded. This cannot be unbounded because real part is between beta and alpha. Okay, so this is in fact less than e raised to alpha r. Okay, so though we are taking mod lambda z tends to infinity, so along this sequence this term is bounded, but 1 upon lambda this term will approach to origin. Okay, so right hand side tends to 0 along this sequence, means left hand side. Okay, so we consider two parts. Okay, left hand side as a function e raised to lambda r minus c, and right hand side as a function 1 upon lambda into e raised to lambda r into a plus b. Okay, so all these are solutions, means this equality is satisfied. Okay, if we put lambda equal to lambda j, then this equation 10 is satisfied, and as we go on, right hand side is tending to 0, means we are approaching to root of e raised to lambda r minus c along this sequence, means there should be some sequence, another sequence lambda z dash of roots of this equation e raised to lambda r minus c equal to 0, such that lambda z dash is approaching to lambda z. Okay, since beta is less than real part of lambda is less than alpha, mod of e raised to lambda r equal to e raised to real part of lambda into r is bounded. Since mod of lambda j tend to infinity, the right hand side of 10 tends to 0 along the sequence lambda j. Okay. Therefore, left hand side of 10 also tends to 0 along sequence lambda j. That means there exists sequence lambda j dash of roots of left hand side equation, that is e raised to lambda r minus c equal to 0, such that lambda j dash is tending to lambda j, that is lambda j minus lambda j dash tends to 0 as j tends to infinity. This proves the result. Okay, so this simpler equation is also important in finding the behavior of characteristic roots. Okay. We are going to use this in the next result. So we discuss the corollary. Corollary 1. Suppose the supremum of real parts of characteristic roots govern the asymptotic behavior asymptotic means as v tends to infinity. Okay. Of the solutions of d by dt of x of t minus C x of t minus r equal to ax of t plus bx of t minus r. Okay, homogeneous case. We are calling this as equation number 5. Okay, so as discussed earlier, solutions of such equations are in the form of e raised to lambda t, where lambda is root of characteristic equation h of lambda equal to 0. Okay, so a real part is playing important role. Okay, so if real part of lambda is positive, then e raised to lambda t will be unbounded as t tends to infinity. If real part is negative, then it will tends to 0 as t tends to infinity. Okay, it is not difficult to verify. Okay, if we are calling lambda to be u plus iv, then e raised to lambda t will be e raised to ut in into e raised to iv t. Now this is e raised to ut into this is this is cos vt plus I sin vt, whose modulus is 1. It is bounded. Okay, so therefore mod of e raised to lambda t is nothing but e raised to real part of lambda into t, e raised to ut. Okay, so this tends to 0 as t tends to infinity if u is negative, and this tends to infinity as t tends to infinity if u is positive. Okay, so real part is governing the asymptotic behavior of solutions of this equation. If there exists delta greater than 0 such that every solution x of t of this delay differential equation 5 satisfies x of t into e raised to delta t tends to 0 as t tends to infinity, then it is necessary that mod c less than 1. That means if mod c greater than 1, then this cannot happen. We have to prove that if mod c greater than 1, then such thing cannot happen. There is another thing. So we call this as 1. Okay. Second result is if mod c less than 1. Now assumption is mod c less than 1. And every solution of ODE, ordinary differential equation, d by dt of 1 minus c into x of t. Okay, here we are putting r equal to 0 in the corresponding delay differential equation, equal to a plus b x of t. Okay, what we are doing? We are tending r to 0 so that this becomes x of t minus c x of t, and right hand side a x of t plus b x of t. And every solution of ODE, this ODE approaches 0 Okay, so when this will be approaching 0, this is nothing but d by dt of x of t equal to a plus b upon 1 minus c x of t. Okay, so this is linear first order differential equation. X dot of t equal to some constant into x of t. Okay, solution is e raised to that constant into t. So e raised to a plus b upon 1 minus c into t. Okay, so this solution will tends to 0 if this constant a plus b upon 1 minus c is negative. Okay, that is if a plus b upon 1 minus c is negative, then there exists delta positive and r naught positive such that every solution x of t of 5 satisfies x of t into e raised to delta t tends to 0 as t tends to infinity. This is not true for all r. Remember, this is only for restricted small values of r. Okay, so this is important thing for 0 less equal r less than r0. Okay, means for sufficiently small r. Okay, why we are taking sufficiently small r? We are trying to relate the behavior of this ODE and this DDE. Okay, so if we take very small r, these two equations can be thought of perturbed equations. Perturbed means changed, small change. Okay, so we are perturbing this equation using small value of r. So behavior of both these equations will be same, and we are assuming that this all the solutions of this ODE are tending to 0. Okay, so for sufficiently small r, this solution is also tending to 0. Of course, there is e raised to delta t, that doesn't matter. Okay, means we are going to show that if mod c less than 1 and if this condition is satisfied, means ODE is stable thing, then the solutions x of t means these are of the form e raised to lambda t na. Okay, so e raised to lambda t x of t into e raised to delta t means this e raised to lambda t into e raised to delta t. So e raised to lambda plus delta t. So we are going to show that all the solutions lambda, all the characteristic roots lambda satisfy real part of lambda is less than minus delta. Okay, so this lambda plus delta, real part of lambda plus delta will be negative. Okay, and then it has to go to 0. Okay, let us see the. So first part, if c not equal to 0, then the roots of equation one minus. Okay, so we are going to use the previous lemma. Okay, this is corollary. So previous lemma says that there is a relation between the characteristic roots and roots of 1 minus c e raised to minus lambda r equal to 0. We are calling this as number 8. Okay, if c is not equal to 0, then the roots of this equation are, okay, it is simple to find roots of this equation. Okay, so we need to take logarithm. Okay, So this is nothing but e raised to minus lambda r equal to 1 upon c. Okay. And then we take logarithm. Okay, and we know that this lambda is complex number, so we can so this is multi-valued function. Okay, so roots are given by, you can verify this, roots are given by lambda equal to log of natural logarithm of c upon r, okay, plus 2k pi I by 4. Okay, this here k is 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 and so on. Okay, just verify this. You need to simplify this, take natural logarithm. If, okay, again we are assuming contrary. Okay. So if here we are saying that it is necessary that mod c is less than 1 for something. Okay, so contrary we will show that if mod c is greater than 1, then such thing cannot happen. Okay, if mod c greater than 1, then real part of lambda, that is nothing but real part of log of c divided by r. Okay, and if mod c is greater than 1, then real part of modulus, real part of logarithm of c is positive. Okay, this is positive. Okay, so this is complex number. Log of c may be complex if c is negative. Okay, mod c greater than 1 means it is either greater than 1 or less than minus 1. If c is less than minus 1, then this will be complex number, otherwise real number. But anyway, real part of this log of c will be positive, r is also positive, so real part of lambda is positive. And we know that if real part of lambda is positive, then the solution will tend to infinity. Okay, actually this lambda means root of this equation, another equation, but by lemma this is related with characteristic roots. Okay, so third part. Okay, here c is non-zero, so okay, so we are relating with this equation. Therefore, by lemma 1, there are infinitely many solutions. Okay, so this is one root lambda. Okay, so corresponding to this, we will have characteristic root. Okay, and here k is 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 and so on. So these are infinitely many complex numbers with real part positive. Okay, so there are, so we can have such sequence. There are infinitely many solutions of delay differential equation phi which approach infinite, means unbounded. There are infinitely, okay, we cannot expect stability in such case. There are infinitely many solutions which are unbounded. Note that these solutions are of the form e raised to lambda t. Okay, and therefore if there exists delta positive such that x of t into e raised to delta t, that is e raised to lambda plus delta t, tends to 0 as t tends to infinity for all roots lambda of characteristic equation. Then it is necessary that mod c should be less than 1. Okay, this cannot happen if mod c is greater than 1. Okay, so all the solutions, sorry, there are infinitely many solutions which are becoming unbounded. Okay, e raised to lambda t, so e raised to lambda plus delta t cannot go to 0. Okay, whatever your delta may be fixed. Okay, so this has to be, mod c has to be less than 1. So this proves part 1. Now let us prove part 2. Second thing, okay, I already have discussed this proof. That means the solution of ODE will be perturbation of solution of DD. We are taking very small r. Okay, this is not true in general. For any r, this cannot be possible. Okay, so we are saying that there is r0 such that 0 less equal r less than r0 implies this. Okay, so for sufficiently, so this is important, sufficiently small delay r, the delay differential equation phi is a perturbation is slight change, and ordinary differential equation d by dt. Okay, we are tending r to 0, so we are getting d by dt of 1 minus c x of t equal to a plus b x of t, that is x dot of p equal to a plus b divided by 1 minus c x of t. Okay, we are assuming that this coefficient is negative. If a plus b upon 1 minus c is negative, then all solutions of this ODE, ordinary differential equation, tend to 0 as t tends to infinity. Okay, that means this ODE is stable. Therefore, similar stability behavior can be expected from the delay differential equation phi for small r, sufficiently small. Suppose mod c less than 1, that means real part of lambda that is real part of log of C by R is less than 0 in 8. Therefore, by lemma 1, real part is negative. So, for sufficiently small r, say 0 less equal r less than r0. R0 is very small fixed number, positive. All roots of characteristic equation satisfy. All characteristic roots lambda satisfy real part of lambda less than minus delta less than 0. Okay, real part of lambda is negative for all such characteristic roots for sufficiently smaller, means there is in between such number. Okay, so we can always find such number. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to find supremum of real part of lambda. Okay, so it will be negative, and so we can have this minus lambda. Okay, for some delta positive, and therefore x of t into e raised to delta t, that will be x of t means e raised to lambda t. So e raised to lambda plus delta t. So real part of lambda plus delta is negative. Okay, so this will tends to 0 as t tends to infinity, and this proves result. Okay. Actually, this was outline of the proof. The for second part. Okay, so complete proof is available in the book. Thank you.